applicant. Al is with us this evening, the owner of the property, as well as Lisa from TAP, who's the project architect. I can start by just doing a brief overview of the project just to bring the board up to speed. So Al was before the planning board in 2022. He received site plan approval in 2022 for essentially reopening the gas station and doing some improvements to it. And during the construction of the project, he made some site changes that has resulted in him needing to come back to the planning board. So we've brought the project back to the planning board to show the various improvements that he's made, and basically from the time the project first started in 2022, we were under a different type of zoning code. And here we are today under a newer zoning code, which now has us having a number of variance requests this evening. So just a little background here, the project's located at the corner of, generally the corner of 5th and 125th Street. Many of you know this up on the north end. It was previously a service station and gas station. What Al is completed and what we've actually been working on based upon additional comments from staff and the engineering department is doing some additional improvements to the site. I'm going to walk through those quickly and then we can jump right into the variances, but I want to bring you up to speed to how we got here. So previously there was 2 curb cuts along 125th Street. If you go out there today, those curb cuts are still out there today. As part of this project, we're going to end up closing off all those entrances onto 125th Street. This is a conversation that we had with planning, which there was a lot of concerns over the movements off of 125th, where it's tucked in between those 2 signals. So we've taken that off the plan. So access is going to be from, and there's a lot of different names for this road, but I'm going to say North Scotticoke Road or New Scotticoke Road, page left here. We'll have an access point there. And then we're going to have another access point off of Northern Drive. You'll notice we have some green space and stuff highlighted up on this plan. It's important to note that. We work closely with the engineering department. We went out, we did some site visits to evaluate what's going on with some of the traffic and such. And we're doing an improvement to the Northern Drive access point here to create this nose. We worked out some of this geometry with Chris Marini, really to kind of prevent this kind of like cut through situation that you have here across those intersections, really kind of bring people to the road edge as well. And most importantly, we're creating road definition all behind the project. If you go out there today, it's basically a sea of asphalt from the building that's there now all the way to the alley. If I go back here, you can see it's really just wide open. Cars are going all over the place. While we were on site that day, we witnessed some of it as well. And then lastly, and which is probably the first item, which as it relates to the use variance, centers around the pickup window. So he has a pickup window as part of the project where he has a Nashville chicken, which basically does sandwiches. And this pickup window is going to be located on the back. I call it the back side of the building, but it's basically opposite 125th Street. Previously, it was located on the side of New Scotticoke Road. So he moved that over to here, which then in turn changed how the drive up to the window and stacking would be. And under the previous zoning code, there wasn't any provisions for that. Now there are. And so here we are this evening. But it's not your conventional drive-through. So normally if you look at a drive-through, you order at a window or some sort of message board, place your order, they make your food, you pick it up at the window. That's not the way this one operates. This is strictly a pickup window. It's an app-based business that you can go in the building and order a sandwich as well, but you would receive a message through the app that your order is ready for pickup. So you don't go to the window until your order is ready for pickup. And so, and Al, I'll let you speak to it, but that's my general understanding. We did get some supporting information from Nashville Chicken as well as it relates to the percentages of their business and pickup. Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
No, I'm just trying to keep up with your pace and
Oh, I'm
having
really
a
sorry.
Very hard time.
Okay.
I've got a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to the curb cuts that you referenced on 125th Street.
Correct.
Now, I did 2 drive-bys and a walk around.
Mhm.
Did I hear you correctly when I thought I heard you say the curb cuts for entrance or exit on the 125th Street side will be closed off?
That is correct.
Got it. Now, let's go to the old location versus the new location of the drive-up window. You lost me.
Sure. The previous location of the drive-up window, so if we look at the building, would be on North Schaghticoke, or I keep calling North Schaghticoke, but it's New Schaghticoke, sorry. Be located here on this side of the building, so that roadside,
Got it.
okay? You were out there on the site. When you get to what I'm calling the back of the building, which is you would have seen a window on the back of that building, just a single window. That's where the pickup window is. That is on this
So it would
face.
be directly behind the main entrance on the back side.
That is correct. So if you were at the front door, it's
got it.
it's on the back.
So to that, so my order's ready. I'm coming from north, south, east, and west. There's 4 of me. How do I get to that window? Get me through every entrance to the window and out back into the street.
Sure. So the nice thing is
With
it,
your fingers.
yeah, I'll do that with my fingers. But the nice thing is that drive up is the lane for it is just for the window.
Yep.
It doesn't interface with the other side of the site or any of the gas or the front of house operations from that perspective. So if you have a sandwich order to pick up, you don't necessarily have to come over here. You're really coming in off of here. So
How do I get
Sure.
in off of there?
absolutely, that's where we're going next. I just wanted to make sure we got clarification on that. So lots of different ways. If you're coming from the neighborhoods or the alley, for instance, you would simply come on to New Schaghticoke Road. Make sure I said that correctly. Heading towards the signal that is at New Turnpike and 125th Street, right?
Okay,
So that access point enters in off of New
so I
Schaghticoke
make a
here.
right turn into the.
You would
back
take
of
a
the
right turn into that.
And then exit, get me out of there.
Exit, then you would come out onto Northern Drive.
So taking a right onto Northern is gonna be fine. Am I gonna get jammed up, taking a left with, because that's a quirky area there. If I gotta take a left,
This way.
yeah,
Yep. So that's part of what some of the improvements that we were making as it relates to some of the traffic improvements. Now, so I'll explain. So when you're out there today, if you were out there and you walked the site today, that entrance at Northern Drive is essentially at Northern Drive. It isn't, it's just on the other side of the sidewalk. So as part of our plan, we redefined the nose, working with engineering, of how the roadway actually is. So we changed the road geometry there so that we're trying to take that angle, this cut through angle that goes down Northern Drive, and we're making them curl and kind of get perpendicular to the road versus at that strange angle. We'd much rather have that scenario there. And then that moves the access off of that intersection a little bit, brings it out and over. So there is space to make the left when you would come out of there.
and okay, so is the traffic flow coming from the north, coming south? Are they gonna be veering off to the right? And I'm not for or against anything.
Sure, understood.
I'm just thinking about left-hand turns and traffic in Troy. So
Yes, of course. So if I was going to the drive-through, once I understand how Nashville Chicken and Al's business works. If I'm coming down the hill from Gurley Avenue and I'm coming from that way and I'm coming down Northern Drive, I'm not going on to Northern Drive here. I'm sorry. I'm coming on to 125th Street. I'm taking a left at the signal in, and I'm coming into the drive up there,
Off the turnpike.
coming off
So
of
theoretically,
Turnpike.
if I
Correct.
came out of there, it might even be, perhaps, I'm just throwing this out there. It might be like sometimes at car washes, it's like, right hand turn only, and then you got to go back around the block. I'm just trying to create safety with lights because
Understood. Yep.
that's,
That's a possibility
Just a
too.
thought.
You could most certainly take a right out of here
yeah, that's easy.
and then,
Taking a right.
come to the signal and make that movement as well.
Yeah, I'm just concerned because I live in Troy, so obviously people are doing a lot of other things while they're driving besides driving.
Well, I can tell you, if you're out there today, they're doing a lot of other things for sure.
Yeah.
Because when you're out there today,
Yeah.
they're cutting behind the building. I mean, they're doing all sorts of stuff back there because there's no road definition,
Right.
right? So one of the big things about the project with working with engineering here was to create that road definition because there isn't any. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. There's one thing I'm not getting.
Yes, sir.
You told me a little while ago that the entrance and exit cuts coming out of the lot onto Northern Drive were going to be closed off.
No, 125th Street is closed. So the entrance points off of 125th.
125th.
Yes.
Got it.
125th is closed. There's two curb cuts, as we
Yep.
talked about. Those are both removed. If you were to go out onto Northern Drive today, I challenge you to tell me where the curb cut is because it's pavement from one end to the other. We're going to create those definitions and those entry points
All
because
right.
there isn't any today.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome. Okay. So now I lost my train of thought.
That you're gonna
So-
say how it brings you to the first variance you're asking for.
Yes, so we have a number of variances. We have the use variance, which is what we're kind of talking a little bit about right now. And then we have a series of area variances that are associated with property, and there are some items as it relates to drive-through. Al, did I miss anything as it relates to the pickup window, the operation, or anything along those lines? And I'll give you the microphone and be sure to speak loudly.
And your name?
And your name for the record.
Hello,
So you
every,
come in the middle.
hello, everyone. My name is Al. First of all, I think Roger covered everything that we needed to cover, but the pickup window is something that was approved a few years ago, and it's just going to be a pickup window only for people that order online, pay on the app, and they just get a notification once their order is ready to pick up. Then they will basically just pull up to the window and pick up their order. They're not going to be able to pay at the window. They're not going to be able to order at the window. So there shouldn't be any vehicles jammed up or people waiting in line.
So
Or-
when you use the term, pardon me, pickup window, I've got a McDonald's pickup window sitting in my head. That's not what you're referencing.
Absolutely not. So there's a lot of people. I mean, the reason why we decided to do the pickup window is mainly for one reason. We've noticed that there's a huge inconvenience for a lot of people that they don't like to get out of their cars, right? They might have their children in the vehicle
Sure.
and they don't want to get out the car. So instead of getting out of your car, you go on the app, you order what you want on the app, you pay on the app, and then you get a notification that your order is ready to be picked up.
Drive through.
You
grab
just
it.
go, you pick up the order once it's ready to be picked up. So
Okay.
if you get there before the order is ready, you're not going to be able to just wait in line. So it's something that we did for people convenience. We were approved. The window was going to be on New Scotticoke. However, while we were working on the project, we noticed that it was going to be between a gas line and the electricity pole. So we knew it was going to be dangerous. So what we wanted to do is literally just improve the whole project. That's why we got Roger, very known person when it comes to sites improvements, and he's very known and he's good at what he does. And we were able to do all the improvements. We also worked with city engineering which were very, very helpful on helping us decide what's going to be better, not just for our business, but for the whole intersection. Because as you might all know, this is near one of the most important gates into the city of Troy. There's a lot of traffic in there. You know, this was just a tire shop that was causing it was just a tire shop like the many tire shops on Fifth Avenue. Uh, we wanted to do something different. As you've driven by, you've seen the building, what it looks like from the outside. We wanted to do something extraordinary, something different. And I hope that we were able to do so. And we were unfortunate that the zoning laws were changed. So we had to come in front of you to help us open up the business.
Do you have the ability to, Al, to, like, if the app is, if you're, you know, if it's overflowing, right?
Yes.
You got 100 orders. Everybody wants chicken that day. Can you have the ability to turn the app off to say we can't take orders right now?
I mean, of course. I
Okay.
mean, as a business owner, you always want to be as convenient as possible for your customers, because with the window is actually going to help us reduce the amount of vehicles in jam we're going to have, because you don't want a lot of people waiting in the parking lot. You know, you don't want people honking at each other. Accidents, as you know, happen on that road all the time. So customers' convenience, traffic flow is going to make our business do better. So of course, as a business owner, if you realize that there is anything that's causing issues, you have to solve it immediately, because it will cause a negative impact on your business. So yes.
Before we proceed, Mr. Morrissey, should we do a secret now or later?
Well, I have some environmental questions before we proceed with that.
But
I have some environmental questions.
Okay,
No,
just
Um,
curious.
why?
gonna do that.
We usually do the
We're
secret at the
gonna,
end.
no, what? But still,
Usually we do that
are
first
we-
and then discuss it.
are we done with the discussion here?
I think,
Doesn't matter.
Are we done with the discussion
no,
here? If you're
no,
not,
Evie has more questions. So.
yeah, so why seeker?
Just a few. I generally am the board member who does the environmental motions, the secret motions, and I have some background in underground storage tanks, oil spills. I'd like to find out a little bit about what was done with the old tanks, the soil that was around the old tanks, and what is going on with the new tanks, and what your obligations are with regards to the new tanks vis-a-vis DEC.
Of course, this is one of the things what caused this project to take so long to get done, is because when we started working on this project, it was right after COVID, and there was a shortage in tanks. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure is to take the old tanks out, which were in there since maybe 1950, and they were metal tanks. So we had to wait. We overpaid for the tanks because there was a huge shortage across the U.S. when it came to gas tanks.
Oh.
So what we did, we went through DEC. We pulled out all the old tanks. We inspected the soil. We were approved by DEC. And we installed new fiberglass tanks, which are the best of the best. They're fiberglass dry tanks. So everything was 100% replaced, and they should last for the next 30 years.
What about your obligations for some tanks require tightness testing, like regular?
Yeah, we did all of that, and we were approved by DEC. We will consistently be inspected by them, and that's one of the reasons why this project took so long, is that we didn't want to just keep the old tanks and start the business. We wanted to actually pull the old tanks out, inspect everything, put new lines, new pipelines, change the tanks, the soil, and do everything. We're planning to stay in there for a long time, so we didn't want to cause any issues for ourselves in the long term, basically.
But long-term, you will have obligations to continually check and have it inspected, correct?
Oh yes, this is something that DEC and the the state, at a state level, at a federal level, we have to keep aware of, and we have to always keep up with it. So it's not just up to us.
Is there a case or file number with regards to the DEC project or?
Yeah, yes, there is. I'm not, I can provide all that to you, but yes, we did pull permits, and we, from the state, we were inspected by the state.
Right.
Yes, so yes, we passed the inspection and all that. Yes, we're actually ready to fuel vehicles at this point. We're just waiting for the approval. But yeah,
Understood. Okay, thank you.
thank you. Anything else?
Say you're ready to fuel, are your tanks? Are your tanks filled?
Not with gas, with water. So with water, yes, but not with gas.
Who gives does DEC give the go-ahead when you will be filling it up with gasoline?
Yes, correct. Yes. This is something that's handled at a state level.
And as a request and for future reference, if you could provide the DEC file number.
Oh, yeah, we have a certificate number. So every location gets a certificate. So we're obligated to,
Just for our records. it would be
absolutely,
useful.
no problem. You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Might even be available on the DEC website.
Yeah, but
Correct.
it's.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't provide it. I'm just saying it might be available.
Oh, yeah, but sometimes their websites are not that user-friendly.
Correct. I agree.
Do you want to open up public comment before
We can
you?
do that. Do you have anything else to say, Al?
I hopefully you guys read the letter that we wrote to your board. Again, it's very
This
important.
letter?
Not the other one. That's a letter from the franchise to prove that the window should not be getting jammed up. It's not like a Chick-fil-A window or anything
Got
like
it.
that. It's just a convenience thing. I know it's something new. A lot of people are, afraid of what is it gonna cost, but it's nothing like a Chick-fil-A or anything like that. It's just something that I said, like it's just for people's convenience, and our parking lot is small, so we didn't want people to just consistently stay in the parking lot and cause a lot of traffic. We were approved before we did any work on the building, but working on the site, because it was so complicated, we realized that there was a lot of things that that it would be better for us to enhance. And that's why we worked with the best architects, the best engineers, to enhance this project, because we wanted convenience for not only our customers, but for the traffic in this intersection.
Okay.
And
I just had a follow-up of that, of what you just said. Since it's kind of a new approach, how will you get around, early confusion, potentially a learning curve?
well, you get, yeah, I mean, most of the customers nowadays, they want convenience, right? Like look at
Right.
Walmart, look at all these supermarkets. They have these designated parking lots where people just pull up to the parking lot and to that designated parking spot and get whatever they want and deliver it to their vehicle and drive off.
Right.
So old school people, they will still be able to pull in, walk in, order, see what they want to order. But a lot of people, they're looking for convenience. They're looking to save time, don't want to get out of their car. They might be lazy. So they're going to find their way to use the app.
So it's an adaptation of something that's going on now, maybe tailored to your situation.
Correct. Yes.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we've been in Lansingburg for a long time, and we didn't want to we don't just build gas stations, right? We like to do things different. We wanted to be different than everyone else around us. We know Lansingburg, we know the area. We knew what people want. You got to provide them with something different. You don't want to just be another gas station that puts fuel in there and sells cigarettes, right? That's why we're not even selling alcohol, because we realized that Lansingburg is a little bit tough. We don't want people hanging outside. So we took out alcohol, not because of anything, but because we didn't want the wrong crowd in there, So we understand the neighborhood. We understand the community. If this was respectful, if this was like some town in New York State, then people will grab their beer and go home and relax. But Lansingburg, people will probably be hanging outside. So just to be transparent, that's why we decided to, yes, it's going to cause us to lose a lot of profits, but we're willing to do that just to have a nice customer, I would say, a convenient, smooth transaction.
So there's no eat-in tables, chairs.
No, no,
This is
no.
Just drive through.
Just pick it up and, yeah, just pick it up and go home and eat it at your home.
Pick it up and get out.
Okay.
Before you go to the public, I don't know if Roger wants to address the other, the area variances that you're seeking.
So I didn't know how you wanted to handle that, if you wanted to do the use variance piece first, or if you just, and then or I can go through the area variances. A lot of them are very quick, so I can do that, but how do you want me to address the board?
I think you should go through them, but it's up to you, really.
I'm happy to do so.
We can go either way, whether we do the use variance or we do the area variance. But maybe I should just point out, you have a 5-member board. One member has recused himself. So that means there are 4 votes.
Right.
And you need 3 of the 4 to get the variance granted. A 2-2 vote does not approve.
Understood,
No, I just want to make sure that we all understand that.
understood. And, given the chairman's circumstances, we completely understand
Sure.
why he would need to step aside. I'm happy to go through the rest of the variances. I think there's a number of these that are very quick, and we can address
Then
them.
we'll vote on each one individually.
And then you would address them, however you feel fit, or when you're going through the list. So Angie, I'm going to probably just follow your bullet list first, just because your
Okay,
little
yeah.
cheat sheet is probably better than my long one.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
So the very first one, on Angie's list is relief requested to allow the front setback for parking zones to be 0.5 feet along 125th Street, 1.5 feet along New Scotticoke Road, where 25 feet is required. So this variance is pretty straightforward in that the property boundary around this location is unique. So if you're standing out there, we can't see property lines, but we see the curb lines and things like that, right? So the property lines here are the dark lines that are running around the project site. So on 125th Street, we have 3 parking spaces that are parallel along this edge. What we've done, when we were going through the planning board process, they asked that we extend sidewalks along the road frontage, provide additional green space along the road frontage, and then we can do our parking. But because there's so little space after you do all those other improvements between the property line and the building, our parking lot, that parking space is 6 inches off the property line. Now, mind you, the setback for this district would be 25 feet. So if we took a 25-foot setback on all those property lines, well, we can park in the middle, guys. That would be the only spot where you could put a parking space. So, and if you remember the old use that was there, which was the garage, there were cars parked all over the place on that thing, all along the side of the road. And to Al's point, we made some improvements to the site plan because if you go out there today, you'll notice that there's some parking spaces. Oh, the aerial doesn't show it. There's some parking spaces over here. There's some parking spaces over there. We've taken those all out so people aren't backing out into the road from that. So we brought them all inward. So once we start doing that, that's where those setbacks are. So simply put, at this stage would be the reason for that variance is variance would require 25 feet. We really would not have any place to put any parking on the property at all if we did a 25-foot variance.
Can you just show me the parking places?
Sure.
I mean,
And you know what? And I'll bring it to you if that helps, just so that you can see a
I
little
just
bit.
want to see
100%.
when I pull in, where
Yep.
what am I
So
seeing?
there's 3 spaces here. So if you go to some of the Stewarts, you'll see this happening much now. There's parallel spaces along the edge, and then you have head-in
And
parking.
is this the entrance here?
That's the main door right there.
So I
Correct.
got 3 along there,
And then you have
and that's
5
parallel,
5 along this
and
frontage
5
here.
in the front.
Correct.
And then that's the gas pump.
And the gas pumps are right here. When we tried to put some cars to illustrate that, to kind of give you a sense. Yep.
And then I
Yes, ma'am.
I can pull and I can pull out there.
Correct.
pull out there. Okay.
Okay.
So one thing that with putting in the sidewalk that's going to be very helpful, just as a comment to the board, is I've dropped my daughter off at school and there's a lot of people that walk their kids to school. And they've needed a sidewalk there for, I don't know.
Ever.
I don't know. I've been in Troy for 12 years. My daughter was in sixth grade. So for at least 6 years, they've needed a sidewalk there that I've known of. So.
Okay. Next variance request is very similar to the last one. Fuel pump island. Fuel pump island in the front of the building needs to be 25 feet from a property line. This was a gas station before. We're having a fueling station here again. Once again, if you put all those setbacks on there, the cars would be in the same spots as the canopy. So we're seeking relief from the code for having the gas canopy within that 25-foot setback is what we're looking for. Angie, I should note that I have a dimensional error on that. So if you can put for the record that 10-foot needs to read 4.2 feet. I do. So I noticed that dimension was pulled to one of the curb lines over there, which was not the property line. However, we're still within the 25-foot setback primarily because of the fact that
So the 10-foot from the row line is really 4.2.
4.2, because this side where Northern Drive is, if you notice how far this thing sets back in,
Yep.
and I can bring it in, that right-of-way line kicks way to the right along that edge. And you can see there's pavement and everything along that edge that kind of overlaps out there even today.
If you go back to the 125th Street side,
Yes,
you're not that 6 inches that you're requesting. You're not right on the road. There.
Sure,
You got
no,
a lot
and
of space there.
100%. So that's 6 inches I'm requesting, just for point of clarity. I'm sorry, I'm trying to balance this at the same time. So here's the road edge, and maybe I can do this a little bit better here, guys. Sorry. This is the road edge here, right? My parking spaces are here. That black line's the property line. So my 6-inch relief is because that back of pavement is right on the property line, essentially.
You have grass aside.
But I have
more grass.
another 4 feet of grass to the sidewalk. That was a thing through the zone. So that's a zoning code item that we originally thought we were going to need another variance for. We worked closely with Eric and staff to make sure that we could get that green space strip in there. So we had a different configuration for parking. We changed that to add that green space in. So,
Okay.
but that's where that's coming from. Thanks, Zach. Okay, moving on. I know we got a lot. I got to pick up the pace. Sorry. All right. So the next two I'll lump together because they're both as it relates to lighting. The lighting for the project. This is an item of importance. We have neighbors that are in this area. One of them is here this evening. So the two variance requests for the record. We're seeking relief because the canopy illumination is located within the direct line of sight of a traffic control device. And we're also seeking relief requested for the maximum foot candle brightness okay, so foot candle per code needs to be 0.3 at the property line. We need relief of 1.2 foot candles at 125th Street, 2.4 along Fifth Avenue, 5.7 along Northern Drive, where that maximum 0.3 is allowed. So I know there's a lot to digest, but I'm going to slow it down for everybody. Okay. Out there today, Al has lights installed. We've advised Al to change those lights out. So currently on the building right now, there's floodlights. So if you were out there and you looked at the building, you'll notice that the lights are angled up. We're having him remove those off of the building. We're going to use a down style light. So it's basically shining straight down, and the illumination on those lights is extremely less. I think the wattage on this one, I turned this upside down. So I think these are really low watts for those wall packs at 5.8 or 6.8 on that wattage. But so we've knocked those all down along those edges and along this property line. So that's New Scotticoke Road. I got our things out of that whack, but that's New Scotticoke Road. We meet the code along that side. So by knocking those lights all down, we don't need any relief there. Where we're seeking relief is on the other side of the building as it relates to the intersection. So we get back to the property line situation once again. So we have the canopy in the front. The illumination is bright underneath gas canopies. Those gas canopies, we're changing the lights he has in there out as well. You can be 20 to 30-foot candles underneath a gas canopy. We're knocking that down to the minimum requirements of 10-foot candles that's underneath there, and that's an average underneath. By doing that, we have knocked that lighting level way down from what would be there. And when you extend it out to the road edge in these areas, we're at or very close to that 0.3 requirement. But when your canopy is within that 25-foot zone and you have a 16-foot high canopy, that light is going to spread out from the bottom of it. I'm not going to be able to cut that off within that many feet of it. But what we did do is by changing that light, we reduced it out. So we're simply asking for that relief. We've made revisions to the lighting that's out there, or well, he'll install new lights based upon the new plan here.
So to put it in layman's terms
Sorry.
that I might understand, floodlight, as I think of a floodlight, is gone.
That is correct.
And what you're talking about is an illumination that comes pretty much straight down.
That is correct.
If I'm sitting in my car on Fifth Avenue facing north, and Northern Drive is here, I'm here. I'm not talking about the traffic light at Fifth and, I'm sorry, 125th. I said Northern Drive. I misspoke.
You're okay.
The next light in just before New Scotticoke Turnpike. Am I going to have visibility to see that light clearly with your definition of illumination?
Yes, we're going to have, again, when that hits out towards the road edge, I'm gonna have to take I gotta
That's okay.
go on my cheaters on here. So we're only at about 0.4, 0.5 foot candles at that
Would
at
you
that curb
explain
line.
to me what that means?
It's a lighting level. So like for parking lots and things along those lines, you want to be around that point. We have 0.3 at the property line, but we'd like to see 0.1, in a lot of those areas so that you have an even higher in areas where we need more lighting for security purposes.
So is the lighting more subdued? It's not like.
It
you
is more
always Park at night.
It is more subdued. It's not when you're standing underneath the gas canopy.
No, I understand.
Because
that part.
I can't do that under
No,
that.
I
So
got
that comes back to things that the state would weigh in on, if they didn't have enough light underneath the canopies. But what he has out there is very bright and it can be less. So we're changing the lights out so that they can be less, still code compliant, but just less.
Can you put the original or put the picture up there that has the houses nearby?
Sure. Oh yeah, back here. Sure. So
Okay.
here's the
So-
houses.
Who is going to be affected by this illumination? The people on New Scotticoke.
So where I'm asking for the variance, along this
Right.
edge.
On New Scotticoke, you're fine.
I'm not asking for any
Right, you
variance.
said you were fine there, so that's
But
fine.
as it stands today, I didn't go out there with a light meter, but as it stands today, when I put those lights in the model, they're too bright.
Yeah.
So we're taking those lights out.
But those aren't the issue.
No,
Well, they would be the issue to the neighbor currently today, right? The neighbor could take concerns over this today, but not as part of our variance request.
That was
That
my
is correct, sir. I'm sorry. Yep.
okay, so, okay. Okay,
Okay. Moving along. Permit. So this is about the blank exterior walls without windows and doors. And I get to stop talking for a quick second, which is lovely. Lisa is here tonight. Is this plan okay to use to talk about the variance request for what we need here? So I'm going to turn it over to you. But basically what we need here is, and you might be able to lump a few of these things together as it talks about blank exterior walls and transparency. Right? So Lisa, I'll turn it to you.
Hello, Lisa Rodriguez from TAP. I think the root of most of the problems, besides that the site is way too small for a modern gas station, is that received approval many years ago, and the rules have changed since then. So the more progressive ordinance is asking for more transparency and less blank walls, but he already had his permits and approvals and started building. So that's why you see what you see. And the layout inside does not lend itself to adding more glazing because there are things in the way. So here we have lots of glazing here. Here we've got a drink station. So you could get more glass there, but you'd be looking at the back of a console that serves drinks. And then here is the back of the cashier station here. So that's why there's a blank wall here. This is the kitchen cooking equipment and the back. Every building has to have a back. And this site has 4 sides. So it's hard to really say what's the back, but I'll say that this and this are the back and that these are the front. But that's what it comes down to, is he had gotten his approvals before the new ordinance. It's a very progressive ordinance and it just doesn't meet it. And the current layout doesn't lend itself to adding more glazing in there. Yes.
Got a question. You moved your fingers so fast, I couldn't follow what wall you were at.
Okay.
If I'm parked in my car on Fifth Avenue facing north, Northern Drive comes down in front of me, 125th Street cuts in front of me. I'm sort of at that intersection. I look to my left out the driver's side window. There are 2 glass windows on that side of the building as we sit here tonight, correct?
Yes.
Do they stay
Yes.
or do they go?
Nope. We're keeping those.
These 2 windows.
Yes,
Mhm.
Yes.
I can't see that diagram from here.
So
With all due respect, it's,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Come up, the windows in question.
those are the windows I'm talking about, but I could not tell from 30 feet what's on that drawing.
Yes, they stay.
So they stay.
Yeah.
So you do have some ground floor transparency.
Yes.
I thought you wanted to eliminate all of it.
No. Just we can't meet the percentage.
Got
that-
it.
can I just add something really quick, if you don't mind? The only 2 sides that we don't have any transparency or windows is this side, which there is all the cooking equipment. So we couldn't put a window in there. And then this other side where we have the gas meter, electric meter, and we have a walk-in cooler in here right behind it. So we couldn't put a window. But besides that, we have windows, like we changed the entrance. We broke all this down and we put huge windows. We put windows here, these 2 windows. So we put windows as much as possible in there. The only place that we didn't put windows is where the walk-in cooler is and where the deli equipment is. And we have to ask for a variance because the zoning law changed. That's
understand.
So
it.
you have added actually windows.
Oh, yeah.
from the original.
I mean, there was no windows. It was a mechanic shop. It was literally 2 big doors.
A police car could look inside from outside. There's a window
Oh,
that they have.
I mean,
Yes.
you looking from this side or the front, looking at the building from all 3 sides in the front, you could always see into the building. The only place that you cannot look into the building is from the back, 2 sides.
And where's the drive-up window?
Drive-up window is this one right here.
Okay.
Ne-
Just curious, are you gonna have like security cameras there or anything?
I mean, we already have like 12 cameras on site.
Just
just-
to make sure no shenanigans are going on.
Oh, yes. I mean, the project has gotten vandalized a couple times, but
Can we move it along?
sure.
So the last item on my list is that the ordinance calls for rooftop equipment to be set back from the edge and screened from view. This building didn't have a parapet. Often the parapet screens the equipment.
Yep.
There are other ways to do it. There are sort of decorative fencing systems that can be mounted on top of the equipment so that you don't have to penetrate the roof. There are decorative fencing systems that can be installed in the field of the roof. The downside of those is that you're popping a hole in your roof every 6 feet to hold this thing up. So not really desirable to punch holes in your roof. And there's one section in particular where there's a piece of equipment that's just too close to the edge to even get screening through. This grill exhaust here is, I don't know if you know what coping is at the edge of a roof. When it pops up a little bit above the roof surface, that's the coping. It's covered with coping. This is right next to that and flashed into that. So on this, in this area, we couldn't even get one here without moving that
You'd have to
exhaust.
relocate the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So we definitely can't do it here. It's just an older style building that doesn't have
So it's a flat roof,
parapets.
right?
It's a flat roof.
So could you do anything cool like they do in the city where they have like rooftop gardens? Could you put something alive up there?
It-
No,
It's,
just asking.
it, like to do that type of thing, you would put a 50-year roof so that you don't have to repair it for 50 years because it's completely covered with vegetation. And if there were a leak, you have to like, figure it out and take that away.
Sorry, Al.
If I could just add something, I mean, how would people, I mean, it's a small site. There's no way for people to access the roof, you know?
No, nobody's
And then what are you gonna look at? The vehicle's 125th jammed up. It's not a nice view. If we were by the water, we would have done that, you know, but unfortunately we're not.
Yeah.
Any other
so-
comments that you guys have to make in your presentation?
There's a couple more.
There's
there
a few
more for me?
All right, please, go ahead.
Yep, but these are functions of the property line and the entrance distances. So essentially, the code requires 50 feet from an intersection for your entrance locations. So back to what we talked about, we're closing all the ones on 125th Street. So we've taken that conflict out. Still need to get access to the front of the building. And so once you center that drive up, we're going to be within 50 feet of the intersection because that would push the entrance basically into the building. And vice versa, same type of situation here because the existing driveway that's out there today is essentially at the intersection. We've improved it by the nose I talked about earlier and brought that away. So once again, we're seeking relief there of around 25 feet and 24 feet. I don't even know if I need this one anymore, Chris and Angie. This is about requesting some information regarding peak traffic, some data as it relates to the drive up and how many transactions. So we were able, so there was a request as it relates to having a drive through in the new code. One of the supporting informations is like how many transactions, what type of traffic is the drive through going to receive? We were able to get Nashville Chicken to provide us. They have, I forget how many locations they have, but they have locations that have this service all over. And they were able to give us a percentage breakdown, the number of sandwiches or transactions that they give in a day, and the percentage that happens at the pickup window. It's anywhere from 26 pickups to 48 pickups in a whole day. So we're not talking about high volume at all. And when you think about it, with the pickup window operation, you're 30 seconds to a minute in a pickup window because your order is ready. It's already paid for. You basically pull up to the window and grab your sandwich. But we'll leave it on the list, but we did get that supporting information because at the time we didn't have it. So we put that on the list. And then the last goes back to the waiting lanes. This is tied to the same thing as it relates to the drive-through. The code would indicate that we would need 6 vehicles for a drive-through with 20 feet for each vehicle. So we would need 120 feet of vehicle stacking in property. My property is not that wide. We provide around 60 feet and change for car stacking. So we're seeking relief on that piece of it because we can't get that many vehicle stacking. However, once again, not conventional drive-through. This code is written around that with like multiple pickup windows, or not multiple, order window and pickup window. So our application and our use is a little different, but we don't feel we need to have 6-car stacking for a pickup window based upon our use. And that is all I have for all the descriptions. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Before we move on, it's been 1 hour. Does anybody need a 5-minute break, or do
No,
you
I'd
wish
like-
to just move through?
I have one question, if you don't mind.
No, go right ahead.
What do you expect? How will fuel tankers enter and exit the property?
Ooh, yeah, it's a good
Good
question.
question.
So we talked with Al a little bit about this because he's going to need to stagger his development or stagger his fuel times a little bit, given how tight things are, for parking and such. So we did a large striped area that's in front of the building that's on the plan today. You'll see that blue hatching that's in front, so that we can have that space. So when the truck pulls in to fuel those tanks, he's going to be parked there. So that'll be an operational thing for Al to work through. And Al, I'll speak to you as it relates, or I'll let you speak if there's anything as it specific to how you're going to have your fuel delivered.
Yeah, I mean, in our other locations, what we usually do is get an overnight delivery. So we do not take deliveries during the day. It only comes after 1 a.m., between 1 a.m. until like 5 a.m. Those are the only 2 times that we get a delivery. Plus, changing the tanks, as she asked earlier, we won't be getting a delivery maybe like once every 2 weeks. So because we put big tanks under the ground, so that saves us a lot of time and issues.
So the way you pointed it out, specifically, do you expect the trucks to enter on Northern Drive and exit on New Scotticoke?
I think it's going to, they're going to come in off of, I think they're going to New Scotticoke and then come across that way.
You think they're going to enter from New Scotticoke?
Yeah.
I mean, we close at 12 a.m. He's going to come after we close. He's going to have the whole parking spot for him. They're usually good at what they do. He's gonna figure it out, but there shouldn't be any.
I get that, but the turning radius is more than 180 there.
Yeah, it's going to be tight without question. But without vehicles parked there, if he has.
I understand the
free
parking
reign-
lot could be
Yeah.
clear and the road could be clear. So you have enough? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I believe we have enough here. Yes.
Any other comments, questions from the board? Any questions from the public, either online or live in the audience?
Come on up, sir.
Come up, sir. Microphone is all yours.
Hi, my name is Martin Opoka. I live directly behind the project, 874th Avenue. I've been participating in some of the planning board meetings, and this seems to be a project that is in flux constantly. First planning board meeting I went to, they said they weren't going to be cooking any food there, but they got a ventilation system and air exchange on the roof to handle a good-sized restaurant. He's talking about chicken sandwiches now, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more than chicken sandwiches there. He owns 5 Star, does a great business. I eat there occasionally, good food, but that I got ahead of myself. That property was not a tire changing place. Hank Jensen served the community for over 50 years. He replaced engines, he overhauled engines. Towards the end of his career, he started to cut back changing engines and transmissions, but he was a full service. Both garage doors there were transparent. They had glass panels on them, had great big windows in the front. So to say that there's more visibility now than there was before, that's not true. And Hank opened up at like 7 in the morning and closed at 5:30 at night, which didn't impact noise and traffic at night. I'm going to try to address the bullet points as they were. And when I went online, there was like 3 or 4 different versions of what was going to go on tonight. So I'm going to address the one that has the most bullet points. The variance for the pickup window, I don't believe it was on the original plans at all. So to say that the code changed and that's why they have to do it. the community, everybody that lives there has a driveway, but when you have company, people tend to park on the streets. I mean, along the side where Sunset used to be, that what they're calling Northern Drive Extension, and New Scotiacoke, which my address is 874th Avenue, but they call it New Turnpike too. Some people do. People park there. I got pictures of it recently, you know. So when we have all this traffic and all this stuff that's going in, 3 cars plus the window, whoever's at the window, that's gonna back out onto that Scotiacoke, New Scotiacoke. I'm guaranteeing you it's gonna back out. No matter what he does, the people order stuff, they're gonna show up. They're gonna be parking around the neighborhood until they get their car or something like that. And plus, that's school buses go down through there. When traffic gets backed up there, that's not gonna be good. There's all sorts of blind spots here. You come up 125th Street, you can't even see any cars there. And you're gonna have people coming down here and going in here to come in here. So they're gonna be stopping here at the light, they're gonna backtrack the part away. When they stop at this light to make a left-hand turn to come in here, it's gonna be a nightmare. I mean, there's just, and to say they're only gonna serve 20 to 40 people, I don't know. I've watched, I parked a couple times down at 5 Star. That was a great business. I imagine that his objective here is to make lots of money. I'm estimating there's probably gonna be 200-300 cars through that operation, whether it be gas, convenience store, or picking up food at the window. That's gonna impact that area greatly. People going in and out, trying to get into the flow of traffic. I don't know how people can't see that, you know? I'll move on to the next bullet point, which for me, it's a relief request for the setbacks. I have no problem with the setback on 125th Street, but I don't understand what the 1.5 setback on Scotiacoke Road. The diagram that I got for the plan is there gonna be a dumpster or something back there, so, and greenery. There's not gonna be any parking back there, if I'm interpreting that correctly. And the fuel pumps being this close to people walking by, I don't see that being safe. And I guess I'm getting ahead of another point. But when people come down and they see all these lights on the canopy and everything, they got the, I think it's going to be distracting for people. It's a very complicated intersection to begin with. I don't know if additional lights would help, you know, put down here or something like that, but people don't obey the law anyway. I mean, people go all any which way they want. They go right through the stop signs near my house. So thinking that people are going to abide by some sort of curbing or something that's going to direct them, they're going to go whatever way they want. When you increase that amount of people coming in and out of that location, that busy location, it's going to have to be a nightmare. I already talked about the canopy. I actually had an engineer friend of mine saying that would be, and he worked for the state, New York State. He said that people coming down and seeing that there, that should be a flag for a safety hazard. They have all that lights on the canopy and everything, and that close proximity to a busy intersection. I don't have no problem with the expanse of blank windows, but you would think that the transparency was probably would be an issue with the police if they were called to had a call there if there was a problem. They can see in and see what's going on a little bit, or doing security checks at night. I don't know if anybody's contacted the Detroit Police to see if they thought that was okay. The rooftop mechanical issue. First of all, the large exhaust vent, the round one, isn't even installed properly. It's the curbing that it hooks to it's not centered. It's not flush to it. The fencing around it is not just for aesthetics. It's to be a little bit of a sound barrier. all the houses behind this operation, the 4 houses that sit directly behind it, to the side of it, maybe you might want to call it, are all elevated. So all that sound that's going to be coming off them is going to be right at our level of our house. We're going to hear it. I've also brought up the fact that, you know, I'm also going to have to smell food cooking constantly. I won't be able to have my windows open. Some things that should have been thought about before the initial plan was put in place. I see that they allotted for some space for snow removal, but you know, we can get some pretty heavy snow. I don't know where they're gonna put the rest of that snow. It's nice that they allotted for some of it. And the drive-up window, the people that we're gonna pull out of this thing, they're gonna go right directly into the flow of traffic. And then you might put this little bumper here to make people slow down off of Northern Drive, but I can still see people flying right down Northern Drive, 35, 40 miles an hour down there. And people are gonna be trying to pull out of that window. You'll also have, they're pulling out of that window and you got the flow going to the pumps, the flow going to the few parking spots they have. I don't think he's got like maybe 10 parking spots down at 5-star, 9, 10. I mean, you know, and those are great business. I don't know what his projections are for this location. Very little parking. So people are going to be parking around the neighborhood. That's going to affect the people that live. I'm 70 years old. This is my family's residence. My grandmother owned the property before I was born. This is the old Sunset, where the Sunset was. People, that might even be my pickup truck in there. But people that visit other people over here, they park here. They park along here. That's all going to be impacted. I don't know if that's a reason for change, but when Testo's is jammed, they park up. They park up this. They park up this road. You know, if people have a party in the houses that live on 4th Ave, they park up here. They block my driveway sometimes. I don't think there's sufficient room for a drive-up window, and I think it's going to add to a problem already that the whole location. They say they're going to change the light, and I thought they did once already. But a visual inspection that even that is not up to code because the fixtures are not flush to the boxes. And the bit with the ventilation system being not to the actual curb of the where it's mounted to, I actually got a code 506.3.2.3 if you want to look that up. And also, it seems that this congested thing here is going to be not really good if there's an emergency, a fire or a medical emergency or something like that. It's pretty tight. And I don't know. I don't think a tractor trailer semi could make a delivery there. I've worked at gas stations before. You can have them delivered in a straight tanker. That would eliminate that. But even at night, I mean, I don't think a tanker can pull in there. He's gonna, and if he is, he's gonna be backing back out into whatever's going on the street at that time at night. And the sidewalk, I mean, it's nice that they're putting the sidewalk in, but this is a sidewalk to nowhere. If you're gonna have, if people are gonna walk on the sidewalk, they're gonna be walking across a busy intersection that has no crosswalks, has no nothing. It's aesthetically an improvement, but I don't think it's a functional improvement. I know there's been lots of visits to the site and watching traffic and stuff like that, but I don't. Maybe they should sit with some of the neighborhood and get their input. And I stand up here and I talk in front of the planning board. They never have no questions for me or know what's going on. I mean, you go back and forth with the project ownership and the project engineer and stuff, but nobody asks us how it's going to affect the people that live in the neighborhood.
I have a question for you. So what's your biggest concern? Is it potential for car accidents? Is it just the parking, because it's a convenience store? If I drove by a Stewart's and there was not no place to park, guess what? I'm not stopping at Stewart's. I'm going to keep going. So it seems like this shop it's an in and out place. It's not like people are going to be parking all over the place like they might at Testo's or something like that. It would be it's inconvenient to have to park down the road to go to a convenience store. I understand the smell, the chicken smell, food smell, I should say. I understand the noise of the condensers or whatever's on the roof. But what's the primary concern? Is it this? Because that was one of the first things I was talking about, was worrying about car accidents.
Well, there's already accidents there. I don't
I'm
know.
sure.
When I seen the traffic flow requirement, I thought it was going to be some kind of study about what was going up and down the roads and stuff, not just what was going through the pickup window. Because the traffic flow in that area, it has its peaks and its lows. But when it's at its peaks, it backs up already. People cut in front. People don't use the lanes that they're supposed to use. And they're right that people do cut down and cut over here to go up through Turnpike. And that may eliminate some of the stuff that goes on at the lights. They still have to stop at a light. Yeah, my concern is that you're gonna take a very, at times, congested area and throw another 200-300 cars in there. I don't know. Al, do you have a projection of how many customers you're gonna do in there? It's not 20 or 40. That's the question. Talking about the driver. There's a great business at 5-star. If he does what he's doing at 5-star, it's gonna probably be 300 cars.
So Al, so at 5-star, people are in and out though, right? Or not? What's the turnover of your driveway at 5-star?
Yes, correct. People are in and out. So obviously this location, 5-star, took it 15 years to be where it is today. It's been in the business for 15 years. When we first came to 5-star, this is where we believe that businesses do affect communities. And when we first moved to Lansingburg 15 years ago, Cumberland's left, all these big companies left. Every single place closes at 8 p.m. It was a high-risk area. I mean, you would call pizza shops to deliver to Lansingburg. They wouldn't deliver past 7 p.m. This is a fact. If you call a pizza shop back 10 years ago to deliver into Lansingburg, they would not even deliver a pizza because it was a high-risk location for their drivers. We took a risk. We moved in. We gave up a lot of things. We did so much to be where we are today. And same thing with this location. I don't understand. I respect what he's saying, but first of all, regarding the smell, these vandalization for the hood, it does not even, no smell comes out of it, nor noise. It's just heat. And you could ask anyone that knows about, hood systems and stuff like that. So there's going to be no smell, nor a noise or anything like that. That's number one. Number two, I mean, do you not want a business in Lansingburg? Because it seems like Price Chopper walked out, Ted's Fish Fry walked out, Burger King walked out, Well Now walked out, Dunkin' walked out of that area. You got all these businesses that walked out of that area. We came in, we spent $2.4 million. We were, as I said in the letter, advised by officials and community members to invest in that location because it was an eyesore for the city of Troy. So we took that big risk. Our location has gotten vandalized multiple times, and we're still taking that risk. So your area will become safer. There's no going to be hanging around because we're not selling alcoholic beverages or anything like that. We're selling upscale business, upscale convenience snacks and food. So in and out, we know the neighborhood. I live in Lansingburg. I know Lansingburg. So there's no way any of those concerns are going to be. I don't see them happening. I know the area very well. I know the business. I understand your concerns, but they're not going to happen. There's going to be no noise, no sound, no smell, none of that. And as you said, I agree with you. People, if the traffic flow is bad, no one is going to pull over. So it's going to be my loss. How long is it going to take us to get $2.4 million back? So that's it. Thank you.
I do have a question for, I didn't catch your name, I'm sorry.
Martin Poker,
Mark, you said?
Martin,
Martin, oh, Martin.
Marty.
What, can you kind of show on the map about where your house is in general? Right over there, okay, thank you.
Can I didn't really get to answer your question.
Yeah,
you
so,
know?
yeah, go ahead.
And my concern is, yes, the fumes from the vents. I drive for a living. I'm a delivery driver. I drive all over the place. I go by restaurants, got the same similar type stuffs on the roof. I smell their food. Makes me hungry while I'm driving. Don't always smell them. You know, sometimes it goes up just because of whatever's in the atmosphere, how it is, that they go up and they go away. It's not always the case. Depends on how the wind's blowing and what the pressure is.
I have a couple questions. You had a lot of points. I wish I had a list of them in front of me. I tried to track it up here.
I think I only covered one, really.
No, you covered
two,
quite a
yeah.
few, sir. But here's my first question. You said when this was initially planned or purchased prior to the zoning board change in the law in the 2023 year, that the drive-up window was never part of the original operational design. True or not true?
Incorrect. You guys could pull up the videos and the records.
No, I'm just
but
asking
no,
a question.
it's we.
Prior to 2023?
Yes, there was a pickup window, 100%,
That's all
and
I
it was in
wanted
a
to know.
bad
Either
location.
yes
Yes,
or
yes, yes,
Thank you.
100%. Thank you.
The other issue was the vent on the roof. You said it's not either mounted properly or operating properly.
I couldn't tell you whether it operates properly because I don't know if it's ever been on yet.
You suggested it wasn't.
Well, I suggested that it was installed improperly.
Did you
It's
go
not-
up the
doesn't
roof?
meet the curbing right. It's not flush to the curb, and if you look, even look from the road, you can see it.
I mean, is it
Let's
an
back the
aesthetic?
bus up. What does code enforcement say regarding the mounting of that vent on the top of that roof, where it is and where it was prior to the proposed operational plan?
It's new. It wasn't on the building before. I mean, this is something new.
I mean, we wouldn't get a CO if it was improperly.
I can't hear you.
We would not get a CO by code enforcement if it was improperly installed. I mean, and you can't even look at it unless you go up the roof. Unless he went up the roof, he put a ladder and he went up the
So
roof.
The inference was it was not operating or functioning properly.
He doesn't know. We have never turned it on. So it's, I don't know that. I don't know how he knows that. So
I didn't exactly say that. I said that it was, that you could see visually that it's not flush to the curb.
but that's impossible because you have to go up the roof for you to see
I
that.
wish I had taken a picture. I could see it from the road. And I went around the building with a friend of mine that was an engineer.
Okay.
He pointed out certain things, just like the light fixtures are not, they're supposed to cover the boxes that they're hooked to. You can see the boxes behind them. I mean, you know, it's the same type of thing with the vent. They haven't been operational yet, so I don't know what I'm gonna smell. But I know when I drive around and I see this type of unit on a building and I'm going by a nice Italian restaurant or a burger.
I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
I used to smell Burger King from down 2.5, 3 blocks away.
Those are old devices, but the new modern hood systems, you shouldn't be smelling. They have better filtration.
Now, one of the points you made was a point that I brought up, and they brought the design over to me, was about transparency.
The windows in the front, I just, that variance, only thing I said about that is maybe the Troy police should, you know, that transparency is probably for the
But-
cops to pull up and.
But you have that on the side of the building with those two plate glass windows, maybe not the maximum that they want, but they're there. And then you have glass on the front door.
Minor issues. I was just trying to address.
No,
the
you
most-
said transparency was a real safety issue is what
I
I
said
thought I
that
heard.
you might want to ask the Detroit police if that's an issue with them for safety reasons. If they answer a call, they probably want to be able to see
I agree with that.
into the building.
Well, so to
And I
that-
made reference to the fact that he said that there was no transparency when Genron was there. And there was two great big garage doors. They had nothing but glass and two great big plate glass windows in front. My little brother put his hand through one of the plate glass windows and got 60 stitches, and Hank tried to sue my father for the windows. So I know there was windows there.
I want to interrupt for just a minute. So in all of this planning, Chris, you might know, have the police and has the fire department all been consulted, and what have they said?
Yeah, they're in our planning review meetings. This is Chris Marini, city engineer. Yeah, police and fire were present. They continue throughout the building permit process. I know an officer in one meeting inquired about the cameras. He said he was gonna get in contact with Al about it. It's usually a requirement they have, and yeah, fires.
Did they
seen the site
suggest
plan.
any issues with safety of the building or getting in and getting out if somebody has a heart attack and getting an ambulance in there, if something catches on fire? They would have brought that up. Am I correct?
I've attended those meetings. I don't recall that being brought up.
There's been no suggestion from the police or the fire representatives that the plan or the site plan is unsafe.
And typically, if they thought it would be, it would have been addressed.
If they
will share their opinion.
if they saw a defect in the plan that would inhibit their operations, they are usually quite outspoken.
Okay. So I think that should make you feel good.
But they might be looking at it when they still had the large entrances off 125th Street. So
Well, no, I
we're-
mean, I
we're-
think they're part of this, but
well,
I mean, to me, I think, one of the things that, there's some of these smaller things, but I mean, the traffic flow seems to be the thing that concerns you the most.
Well, yeah, I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. I get up at 5 o'clock to go to work. I don't want, all the traffic going through there at 11, 12 o'clock at night. That's a concern, but basically the amount of traffic that's gonna be there throughout the day is gonna cause problems with the traffic flow.
So,
Even when the kids get out of school at that particular time, it causes problems.
so here's my thought about that, and I want you to feel good about it, is that I live in Troy. I don't live in Lansingburg. I'm not driving to Lansingburg, no offense, to come to your place. So I think the traffic that's going to be using his establishment is already there. So I don't think it's gonna be more traffic. I just think it's that traffic that's gonna use his establishment.
Well, I don't think, a lot of people that travel through there are just going through there to get to Waterford to go to work or go up,
Right,
So they're not gonna be stopping there for that reason, but I'm just saying, when you add to that, the people trying to get in and out of a restricted area now, because you got less entrances, which may or may not be good. But can you just imagine somebody pulling away from that window and then they have to go out and you got all the flow coming down?
so that was my point. That was my very first point, taking a
That's
left.
only one
I think the left-hand turn is a bad idea. So maybe that's something that you can address, Al.
So that
Well,
people are frequently pointing to the main entrance on Northern Drive. And when they're coming out of the drive-through, that's another 15 feet or 20 feet to the south.
Yes.
So
I mean,
you see
that's
that.
a
Okay. So it's
potential.
more in the middle of that block.
Well, they're gonna put some grass or some kind of sidewalk in here that's not there now. It's hard to visualize, but that may change some. But still, the window's right there in the corner. People are still gonna pull right out into the flow. Whatever's coming through here, they're gonna pull it out into the flow, whether they go left or right, it's gonna.
Hopefully they'll look first.
And if it's all directed right back down towards my house, it just increases the traffic in front of my
Not
house.
everyone does.
So as a parent that had a daughter that was at Turnpike, the school does encourage the parents to not go through this intersection. they encourage them to go around down Second by the old Price Chopper and come up around to come that way.
That
That's,
would make more sense.
so just as a parent, that is what I did. Now, there was times that I went this way, and there was times I did what they're complaining about now, cutting through that to cut the light. Many times. And that's officially on the record, so I could probably get a ticket for it now. All right, but the school, when new parents come and they say they're gonna be drop off or pick up, they encourage the parents through a letter to come around Second Ave, to come down, so then you're taking a right into the school at Turnpike. They try to alleviate people going through there to save this for buses too. So that's just knowing,
Yeah, no, I
this
mean,
is
I
very
think
recent in my
that's-
history.
That's great communication.
Yeah.
And
Well,
again,
and
that's my biggest concern is like
and we did
somebody coming out of this gas station part, the convenience store part, who's taking a right, and somebody coming out of the drive-through who's taking a left.
I was also the PTA president, so we did a lot of events.
This is a blind spot here. They got bushes and a shale hill. You can't pull out here with traffic coming up there. You know, you can't see it. And I know if you wait for the light, that's one thing. Hopefully the people coming up 125th Street stop. But you're also, my issue is that if people have to come down here to turn to come in here, that's gonna back that traffic right up. I mean, you know, if you know people, you're one of the parents that actually go the other way, but that turnpike is still backed up for that period of time that the kids are let out of school or dropped off. It's not so bad dropping off, the people drop them off at different times, but they all get out at the same time.
I'm begging to ask a question. The term five-star store or gas station has been used repeatedly. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea where it is. I have no idea what it does, and I've never seen it. So could somebody please take 30 seconds and explain to me what
Al?
everybody's talking about when they use the five-star? Let him answer.
Oh,
You don't own it.
I
He does.
know what it is though. You said somebody. I'm somebody, aren't I, Steve? So Five Star is a gas station convenience store on Fifth Avenue. Not anywhere close to
Fifth
this.
Avenue and,
What's the, what? 109th.
thank you. I
That's-
had
there's-
no idea what he was.
Yeah, they have a pickup window inside, not one you drive up to, but you can walk in, order food.
I got that.
You can call it in.
Al, is it just gonna be chicken sandwiches, or you're gonna have the full menu that Five Star has at this location?
I told you.
It's a smaller menu. It's a different menu. Much smaller.
Just chicken?
Yes.
Just chicken? No
Yes.
rice dishes?
No, none of that.
What's the need for all the ventilation then?
What was that?
What's the need for all the air exchange and hood ventilation?
That's something that the Department of Health requests. Because there's fryers.
It's a pretty large unit.
Yes, because we don't want to have any smoke inside the place.
Sir, I just want you to know, Marty, that you've been heard. And
Well, because
That's
in
important.
the planning board meeting, I asked what was if this gained approval the way it sits now, and there is a problem with traffic and noise and all this other stuff, that I have to go through code and engineering, and it sounds like a process that's gonna be never ending if it is. I
And
think now's the time to address,
Yeah.
you already have an intersection that is a problem.
and this is why I just want to add something to him to make him feel like that he's heard. And this is why we're here today, 3 years later. It's because we realized that the previous plans were not the best. So that's why 3 years later, we're coming again. We are where we are today to improve everything that was already approved. So most of your concerns, I promise you, like that you're not going to be worried about it. Like it will be okay. That's why we got the best site planner, best engineer, the best architect in the area. They're very known. Here we are.
I don't think you can control people's travel patterns. I don't think you can control people's bad habits and travel, breaking the law, not, traffic violations and such, and people are
that's
gonna
true.
be parking around there waiting for him to call and say, your order's ready.
I had one question. You mentioned a code reference that I think may not have been in the application materials. What was that number again?
No, I made reference to the possibility that the exhaust vents were installed improperly to the carbon is what I guess the engineering
What
term
was
would
the
be.
reference number?
506.3.2.3,
506?
0.3.2.3.
That sounds like a New York State building code.
Oh,
Well, that's very minor to my concerns, to tell the truth. My concerns is more noise, smell, traffic, and being that late at night. This is, it's commercial residential, so I'm concentrating on the residential end.
I mean, is it at least something better than the eyesore that was there?
Oh, I like the garage that was there when it was operational,
I know,
And
I
an
know.
empty building, no, I mean,
I know.
Towards
But-
the end, Hank didn't paint the building anymore. This is, I know the guy put a lot of money, and I appreciate, I go to his other business, I buy food there. But that's not in my backyard, it's not,
Not my backyard.
well, the traffic is gonna be in front of my house, when I'm trying to go to sleep and when I wanna open the window on a nice summer night and get some ventilation through my house, that's gonna be an issue.
Al, you could put that on your app, please no parking in the neighbor, I mean, I'm serious. Please no parking in the neighborhood while you're waiting for your order.
I mean, on the record, I promised him if there's people parking in front of his house, I'll have an employee just work in front of his house. Make sure that no one parks in front of his house.
That's what I mean, just.
I'll put that on the record. Like I'm responsible for that. If he gets people parking in front of his house, I'll hire a full-time employee that just stands in front of his house, making sure that no one parks in front of his house. And that's on the record.
Okay, well, I guess my comments about the traffic and the possible potential for problems on the record also.
Okay, I think we've heard a lot from everybody. Is anybody online
Yes.
with comments? And if so, now's your turn. Introduce yourself and go ahead.
Tracy,
Yes, hi. Thank
your
you
name
for
and address, please.
Yes, Tracy Lee, 886 4th Avenue. And I sent you a list of all my concerns, including some that Al certainly did address. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the previous appeals or the zoning meetings or anything. I wasn't aware that there was going to be a drive-through. I just assumed it was going to be a gas station and a store. I was not aware that it was going to turn into a restaurant with a drive-through. I'm directly across the street. I'm not sure how this is going to impact me. I have any kind of planning. I haven't seen anything in reference to this. And again, I've written all my concerns to you all, and I presented it before the meeting. I'm not sure if you're going to go through it or if you're going to take it into consideration, or do I have to read it?
No.
We got the email, if that's the one you're referring to.
Yes,
Just
yes.
on to the board today.
You read it.
Yes. Yes. So I do have a number of concerns, and including a lot that was already mentioned. And I would also like access to these plans to see how it would affect my residential area. And I would like that same courtesy if he's going to hire someone to make sure no one's parking, because I already have people parking, my neighbors parking on the side of the road there. And the garbage, I can't imagine that it's going to be more. I imagine that it's going to be more garbage and things to take care of. So I'm very concerned.
I would like to ask a question about the garbage. Al, explain your plans for garbage sanitation, pickup, waste removal.
Dumpster site.
Yes, sir. Roger Keating from Lobel Associates. We have a dumpster garbage enclosure right here. So,
I can't see any of that.
yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll explain it, ma'am.
Okay.
So along I'm getting tired and fatigued here. Sorry, guys. Near New Turnpike Road side of the project, we have the dumpster enclosure over there. Al will be getting his garbage collection 3 times a week, so it's not sitting there, with like a once a week pickup.
Is the garbage collection private or is it City of Troy?
Private,
How many times a week?
3 times a week.
Thank you.
And not at 3 a.m. in the morning.
I don't
The- The time,
Yeah, just,
So-
I would suggest don't make it at 3
Right.
a.m. in the morning.
So-
But
So
that's something that
those are planning concerns generally and can be, he does not have site plan approval yet. If anyone has an objection like that, they can raise it before the planning board at the public hearing. And if the planning board looks favorably upon the objection, it could be a condition of site plan approval.
Okay, is that likewise with snow removal? Or
So
snow plowing?
Snow removal is also a planning consideration and not a zoning consideration.
Okay, and so I take that up with zoning.
So there will be a planning board meeting. I'm not sure when.
On June 17th at 6 o'clock PM. Right here. You can also go to the city website, follow the link to join the meeting on Zoom. And you can also provide your comments.
Or you
listen to
can
the
come in
meeting.
person.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
also come in person here.
Okay, and so the other points that I raised in my letter, my email to you all, were they addressed or are they the same, pretty much the same things that we already went over?
To the best of my knowledge, and I would say to the best of my knowledge, your email concerns were pretty much addressed or discussed tonight in the public access. I can't say emphatically yes, but I think most of them were covered. As I
Okay.
recall.
And where can I find that?
Where can you find what?
Where can I find the concerns that I addressed? You said they were covered where? I don't know where. Like the
I
value.
think, Ms. Lee, the chairman is saying that you raised a number of concerns in your email, which I have not seen, I'm sorry to say, but that those concerns, to the best of his recollection at this time, were the subject of discussions that have already taken place or that took place this evening before the zoning board.
Okay, so like the value of the home, the decrease of the volumes of our home with this business. How is that? Is our home value going up?
Goes up.
Okay.
think.
Okay. And your green space is just that little strip? Is that what you referenced when you said improvements will be made to increase the green space? It's just that little strip of grass?
So right now, there's no green space.
0 green space there today. We revised the plan. So at one point in time, we did need a variance for green space. We revised the plan, as I
Okay.
described earlier, to further increase the green space so that we did not need a variance. We meet the code requirement. And we're doing additional green space improvements, not only on our site, but off our property. So along the right of way, when we're creating that road definition, that's all asphalt there today. We can't take credit for that as part of a zoning piece because it's not on our property, but we're most certainly increasing green space out there compared to where it is today, significantly.
Mhm. Okay. And in reference to the approval from 2022 with this window, is there any way that can I go back to the meetings and see when this window was included? Because I always was under the assumption that it was just going to be a gas station and maybe a little convenience store. So when did the window with the drive-through and all that take place?
Al, did you say that the drive-through window was involved pre-zoning change in 2023?
I don't know about the exact code, but I know one thing.
Can you?
I know one thing that everything has been approved, and it was actually approved as a drive-through window, not a pickup window. But we realized the complexity of the location of the site, so we decided to make it only a pickup window. So
it's
we're not.
It's not a drive-through window in the sense that we would think of a drive-through window.
Correct.
Where you stop,
Yes.
give your order, move 30
Yes.
feet, wait 5
Yes.
minutes, pick up your package and pay for it.
Correct, but it was originally approved as a drive-through window, and
But
you know,
that's not
food
what
and
you're
all of
talking
that. Yeah, right now it's not. We're improving things without being pushed to do so. We want a smooth business in the area.
I understand, and I do hope that you are successful. But in the event that things don't go as planned, what is the recourse? What happens next? Who's going to be responsible? Who's going to follow up?
I mean, we're responsible for the business. Obviously, we don't want a business that's going to cause people issues because that's going to affect us. I mean, who's going to pay the property tax?
Right.
Who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to? We're
So we
invested
just come to
$2.4
you
million
now.
in here.
Yes. So if
Yeah.
things start
So
going array with the traffic or the foot traffic and the noise, you're going to be addressing these issues. You're going to be working with your neighbors.
of course,
Okay.
100%. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
other public comments?
Well,
live or-
so,
I'm not.
Tracy, I think I made a mistake.
I
The
don't.
meeting for the planning board for June, it's June 16th. It's on Tuesday, not 17th. It's June 16th.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Marty, did you have something you wanted to?
You know, after something's already established, I mean, I don't want this guy to lose his investment. I don't want you not to give him some approval, but I want you to give consideration to the traffic flow and what's going on there and what's gonna go on with the neighborhood. Now, just to kind of go over a past thing that has happened in the city, that apartment complex at the old Lion Factory is a nightmare, you know, and nobody can do nothing about it because it's too big and too much money that's invested into it. That shouldn't be an issue with this, you know?
That's not an issue with this.
That's not an issue. I see fire department, ambulance is there, somebody got killed there. I mean, you know, come on.
Can I talk?
Not yet.
I'm just, you know, I'm
All right.
in
This
some
guy
ways,
just
I
repeating himself
like
and
Al.
giving
I like
opinion.
Al's other business, but you know, that's a bad intersection. And I live there. It's gonna be noisy. That's my only concern. I don't have a problem with the operation there. I'd like it to maybe not be open till 11, 12 o'clock at night, you know, and I'd like to be able to think
So-
about still being some parking spaces out there, not all the greenery and
So
Yeah.
hours of operation is a planning board issue also as part of site plan review. So
That's
then
not
at
our
the,
purview.
at the next planning board, you should,
I
you know,
brought- I
maybe,
have-
I think you've already something, but I mean, if you want to make some definite proposal and ask them to condition any approval on certain hours, you can do that.
the lady that was online, somebody should just told her she can go onto the website and I got some different plans and stuff from the website, Troy.
Yeah, I can send you some plans. Tracy, I
Thank
have your
you.
email. I will send you the plans.
Thank
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, is there anything else?
Yeah.
There are people online. who
Okay,
wants to talk.
continue. Who's next?
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Javier. I'm a master's degree graduate from Urban and Regional Planning from SUNY Albany in 2018, class of 2018. I'm also a resident across the street from this business, potentially.
Your
I have
address,
seen this
please.
business, 892 Fifth Avenue. And I have seen this business been trying to be accomplished, I guess, for many, many years. And I'm not sure what's the issues and what's going on. But I have one consideration about the owner said he will install security cameras, or a matter of fact, he has installed already security cameras. Now, is the police will have access to those cameras at any time?
Yes, 100%. Like we have with all the other businesses, they do have full access to cameras.
Okay. And do you have any date of accomplishing or opening such business?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're here in front of the board, hoping that we get approved and open up as soon as possible.
And again, as a resident there, I appreciate what you invest in the city of Troy. This is, and it used to be an eyesore for us as a neighbor. I got my Cadillac converter from my car stolen because of the darkness and the existed business in that area. Attracted the wrong crowd. People who would do drugs will be around in the area. And because I guess of the project, the resident project there was some shootings and many times. So such a business, as far as I studied and known, is more businesses in any city will decrease the amount of crimes in any city, in any given city, and the increase of lights as well. So I encourage the board to look at the plans for the lighting, just to make sure we have enough lights in the air in that business, just to be safe of, for the people who, whether they drive or whether they walk, especially for the people who walk. Like I commute a lot of times, and most of the time I would rather to walk than use my car. So I can't most of the time or certain hours due to the fact whether is the sidewalks are not fixed and I can't use my bike, or I'm afraid to trip, or the light. I'm afraid of me getting jumped, getting hurt by someone. So again, I just want to make sure I understand the neighbor. Some of the neighbors have concern about the lights that go into their houses, or they cannot sleep. But what about the people who are trying to walk, or commute, or walk my dog? I want to make sure I have enough light. I mean, this business have streets all around it, and plus your house is still X amount of feet from that street, and you got a window, you got a curtain. It's not going to be harmful to you as much to me if I'm walking my dog and getting jumped. Those again, I don't want to have less lights where it's dark and I can't see who's walking behind me. Um, Another thing is this business, I don't know how long it's going to take to open, but we need more of varieties of food options or places to go to. I'm tired of me going all the way to Hoosick to eat, or I have to go to Albany or Latham, matter of fact, most of the time. I want something close to my house where I could just walk up to that place, order, get my food, leave, or order ahead and go pick it up and come back home. As a working class, I work from 8 to 5 to 6 sometimes. By the time I get home, it's like late, 7, 8. I don't want to go to Latham or stop in the way after taking a shower or go to after they go into the gym. I feel lazy. I just want more options in my community. And that's pretty much what I have written. I may forget a couple points, but
Thank you.
that's all
very
for
much.
now.
Sir,
Thank you.
Thank you.
who's next?
Anyone online who wants to talk? Where's Kira? It's on up.
Last call. Is there anyone else online who has something that they would like to?
Kira, do you want to talk?
Hi, yes, Kira, 886 4th Ave, directly behind this establishment. I just want to say there should be no drive-through because of the increased traffic. And also people are now doing Uber Eats, so I'm not sure why you can't send somebody to bring the food to them. Is that a possibility, sir?
Because that's 30% increase on every single item. When you order an Uber, I mean, you're in Lansingburg. Do you want to pay something if it costs you $10? Do you want to pay $25, $30 for it? I mean, people want to
I
get.
have no problem getting the food that I need. So I feel like
Maybe-
there
maybe
shouldn't
I
be.
do
you're
have a problem.
financially
I don't
able
want
to,
to
but a
pay
lot
that
of
much.
people.
Javier, can you mute yourself? Nobody interrupted you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's get some order
I
here,
don't know what it
please. If somebody chooses to use Uber, that's their option. Any other concerns for the use or zoning variances that have been proposed for tonight? If anybody
Correct.
has anything, please continue.
I do have a comment. Oh.
Excuse me.
Javier, you don't have the floor.
Again, the increased traffic. The gentleman on the panel had mentioned that the parents were instructed to go around. So there's already a traffic issue already. So there's going to be increased traffic, increased accidents. We're not going to be able to walk down the street freely because of the cars, because of the noise. The pollution, the parking, and what used to be a quiet eyesore to you guys was a nice, quiet residential area for us. It was quiet, so we don't want the noise. Again, the gentleman before said the smells. We don't want the parking, the traffic, the unsafety, all that garbage that your consumers are going to be throwing everywhere. The crowds, the hangout spots for 12 a.m.
Okay, anybody else, please?
So you have Sheldon or E.
Sheldon, did you want to talk?
Nope, that's it. We just don't need the drive-through.
What about E?
That's Eric.
Huh?
Eric.
Oh, that's Eric. Oh, okay. All right.
Eric, did you want to talk?
No.
He said he
Tony? That's all right.
Anything else going once?
Can I talk? I asked to talk.
Who are you?
I'm Javier again.
thought-
I just want to mention a comment on Kara. When I'm a resident as well. So when you're saying you don't want, I think if it's smart of the owner to put a window that will decrease the time of people waiting in the parking lot. Just as I am, I would, if I have, if I'm not walking to the place, I will just use my car. I don't want to wait for my order. I would have my order, I have to put my order online or whatever, how they're using it, or through the app, as he was mentioned, I guess before, and I would just get my order and leave. And plus, I don't want to use Uber, as other residents said, and pay $10 or $15 for delivery fee plus commission plus tip plus whatever.
Javier,
and
using an Uber is entirely an option on your part. Al,
absolutely, I understand.
is it
But I was
correct?
just Yeah, but some of the residents was mentioning, oh, use Uber. Again, as you said, it's an option. I can
It's an
afford it.
option.
Maybe she can. I can't.
No,
and I'm
I
not gonna use
understand
it.
that, but this is,
You know what I mean? And then for the light and then for the noise, actually, this is now I feel safer to walk up down the street
right.
because I have more lights.
I
Thank
think
you.
we understand that.
Yeah.
We've covered that.
We've covered
talked
that.
about the
He's
lighting,
already
illumination.
made
Yeah.
that.
Thank
We've
you.
made
And
that.
I never knew food was a pollution. Making food in any place or the smell of the
Okay.
food is a pollution.
It's really not about responding to the other speakers. If you have, you've already spoken directly to the
All right, thank you.
varian-
Sorry about that.
variances that were requested. Okay, thank you.
All right. If there's nobody else and everybody's had an opportunity, I'd like to move this along.
Seeker.
Could we do a seeker determination, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you.
in regard to PLZBA 2026-0032, as supported by the staff reports. I ask that the board find this proposal to be an unlisted seeker action with sufficient information available for a negative declaration.
Okay, the motion has been made.
Second,
We're gonna do a roll call vote. Evie, yes or no?
Yes.
Zach, yes or no?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So 4 out of 4, yes. Paul has abstained or recused himself. Okay, moving forward, we're gonna take this one at a time or collectively?
I believe you should do it one at a time.
I'm thinking we should too. So let's deal with the use variance first.
Mr. Chair, can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay.
please.
I wanted to ask Al, so it appears so many people have concerns over traffic safety for the drive-through. So let's assume that you are granted a variance today. What happens if this is open and you realize that there's actually traffic that you did not anticipate happening? What are you gonna do? For the drive-through especially?
I mean, as I said before, as a business owner, as she said, you want convenience for the people. So as she said earlier, convenience. If there's a lot of cars or traffic, no one would want to stop by. So obviously we would close it for that hour from the app. So we have a control where people won't be able to even order through the app. We're going to be able to decide what we need to do to make this easy and quick for everyone. And that's one of the benefits of people ordering through the app is unlike the previous plan where it was a drive-through window, people pulling up, ordering, and we were approved for that, right? But no, we said, no, this is going to be a mess. Let's just do it through the app. In case we want to control the traffic, we can just control it from the app. So that's obviously, as a business owner, my concern. I would definitely resolve it immediately and take actions.
Okay,
Thank you.
go to the use variance first, please. Okay, we need a use variance for the drive-through pickup window. And when we talk about a use variance, there are 4 tests. You have to demonstrate that the property is able to provide a reasonable rate of return unless the variance is approved. The hardship associated with the property is not unique when compared to other similar properties, that it would not alter the character of the neighborhood because the neighborhood is zoned commercial and residential, or the variance is not self-created because the plans were put in place some time ago. So, discussion, well, you got to meet all 4.
I don't have anything.
I have nothing.
Could we have a motion to either approve the use variance or to deny the use variance?
I'll make a motion to approve. Have a number for that variance?
No.
That's
it's
the first one.
PLZBA.
So I'll just say, okay, I'll make a motion to approve PLZBA 2026-0032, the use variance to allow for a pickup window. I move that the board approve this variance based on the following acts. I think this is a unique idea, and I think the property is trying to provide a reasonable rate of return, and I think this will do well for him. The hardship relating to this is unique when compared to similar properties. It does not apply to a substantial portion of the neighborhood. Some might argue that, but I think it would be good for the neighborhood. The variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. As you stated, it is a commercial mixed-use property. The hardship is not self-created because it was created a long time ago.
Any comments? Can we get a second to the motion?
I second.
Okay, the motion to grant the use variance has been made. and
Approve.
Seconded. Evie,
Approve.
Zach,
Approve.
I approve.
I approve.
4 out of 4 approve the use variance. Moving along. We're going to go to the area variance. Applicant does not need to prove all 5 tests. The first one is relief requested to allow the front setback for parking zones to be 0.5 feet along 125th Street and 1.5 feet along New Scotticoke Road, where 25 feet is required. Is that correct?
Yes. I can make the
Anybody
motion.
want to place?
Sure.
Go
I
ahead.
move that the board approve this area variance related to PLZBA 2026-0032 of the front setback for parking. The variance, let's see. The variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. In fact, I think it'll be good for the neighborhood because it added in the sidewalk and some green space. The benefits sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other feasible method because there's just not enough property there. The requested variance is not substantial. Well,
You don't have to meet every test.
okay, I got 2.
Okay.
I second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to grant the area variance of relief regarding the front setback and the New Scotticoke Road setback as read.
I vote to approve.
Approve.
I would approve.
Approve.
4 out of 4 approves, variance granted. Moving along. Bullet point number 3, relief of 15 feet requested to allow fuel pumps to be located 4.2 feet from the row line where a minimum of 25 feet is required.
Mr. Chairman, can I just interrupt for a quick
Sure.
second? I want to thank you for acknowledging that typographical item of 4.2. The relief of 15 feet needs to be revised to 20.8 to do the math correct. So
So
20,
let me reread that. You're looking for a relief of 20.8 feet
correct.
instead of the
It's like
15 feet.
Yeah.
To allow the fuel pumps to be located
Yeah.
4.2 feet from the row line where a minimum setback of 25 is required.
Correct. It's on the plan correctly. It's just that the label.
I just want to make sure we read it right.
Correct.
Okay. Any discussion? Can we get a motion for that area variance, please?
Sure.
I'll be at the next one. I can't wait to see you guys in person.
Pardon me?
Excuse me?
So
I think
shut that
I don't know if there's a way to mute all of it.
Proceed with the vote. Mr.
I move that the board approve regarding PLZBA 2026-0032, the variance to allow the fuel pumps to be located. Well, it's a two, I don't know.
Relief of
20.8.
20.8.
20.8.
Actually, you're going to be 4.2 feet from the right of way. And a relief with relief of 20.8
Where the
feet.
minimum setback was 25 feet. So the alleged difficulty is not self-created. If they move the fuel pumps anyplace else, they'd be in the middle of the store. The variance, if granted, will not have an adverse effect on impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood.
I second the motion.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Evie, vote please.
Vote to approve.
Zach,
Approve.
I approve. Tamara,
Approve.
motion passed. Approved. Would you like the permit canopy illumination voted on independent of what you put together as joint?
No, everything per record.
You got it. The next area variance is to provide relief as requested to permit canopy illumination located within the direct line of sight of a traffic controlled device. We need a motion, either pro or con.
I'll move that the board approve the variance regarding the canopy illumination. The variance may not be achieved by some other feasible method other than the proposed variance. And I don't believe it'll have an adverse effect or impact on the environmental conditions of the neighborhood.
Are there any other comments? Can we get a motion to approve? Do we have a second?
Second.
Those in favor, Evie?
Vote to approve.
Approve.
Zach? I approve. Tamara?
Approve.
4 out of 4 approved. Moving along on the area variance. Relief is requested to allow maximum foot candle brightness of 1.2 foot candles along 125th Street, 2.4 foot candles along Fifth Avenue, 5.7 foot candles along Northern Drive, where a maximum of 0.3 foot candles is permitted.
I'll do this motion, give
Thank you.
tomorrow, right? I believe that this variance will not create an unreasonable change. I move that the board approve this variance. I move that the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties. If it is granted, I think it strikes a balance of lighting the establishment in a modest way and providing security as well. And there's enough other businesses in the area that do other lighting, so I think it's pretty consistent. The benefits sought by the applicant may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance. I believe the efforts put in through the planning board and various of their iterations of their plans, I think they have tried every way to maximize the best result. And I believe the requested variance is not substantial.
I second.
Okay, motion has been made, seconded.
I second.
I'm sorry. Let's vote. Evie?
I vote to approve.
Approve.
Zach? I approve. Tamara?
Approve.
4 out of 4 approved. Variance granted. Relief to permit building with expanse of blank exterior walls
That one.
without window or door openings. I want to ask a question about that. We talked about the 2 windows on the side of the building. They still stay, correct? So you do
Correct.
have transparency, correct?
Yes.
And do you feel you need this?
The variance,
This one
it's for the,
particular
it's for
wall?
the, it's for the back wall.
Oh, the
Um,
back wall. Got it.
2 walls.
2 walls, but
All right.
primarily that back wall where there's no window, that's where all the coolers and everything are located, mechanical rooms,
Thank you.
et cetera.
So let's make a motion, either pro or con regarding that.
I move the board approve the variance for the relief to permit the building with expanse of a blank exterior wall without a window or door openings. The requested variance is not self-created. It's where his walk-in cooler is, and there's been ample time for the police to chime in, and they feel that there's enough windows and lighting there to see in.
Okay. Motion made to approve, second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. We'll take a roll call vote. Evie, yay or nay?
Yay, I vote to approve.
Zach,
I vote to approve.
I approve. Tamara?
Yay.
4 out of 4, it passes. The next area variance is the relief to permit 46% ground floor transparency where a minimum of 60% is required. We need a motion on this area variance.
I'll do the motion. I move that the board approve this variance. The variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties if granted, as just stated, and throughout the proceeding. The coordination with police and with the need to have that reduced transparency to allow for certain equipment against other walls. I think the balance has been struck in the most reasonable manner. The benefits sought by the applicant may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance. The process as described of the various iterations that they've attempted, I think they've done their best to achieve that feasible method. And the requested variance is not substantial.
Okay, motion has been made. Second, please.
A second.
Take a roll call vote. Evie,
Approve.
Zach,
Approve.
I approve. Tamara?
Yay.
Pass, 4 out of 4. Moving along. Relief is requested from the requirement that rooftop mechanical features be set back from roof edges and screened from view. We're talking about an area variance. Discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to have a little discussion. Is there anything you can do with that? I understand you don't want to, but is there like even, not a fence, but
I mean, to be
just
honest,
for aesthetics?
yes, I mean, to be honest, you said it, for aesthetics, you wouldn't want to put a fence on a roof.
No, not a
Imagine having, because that's the only solution. I mean, you don't even get to look at it from the front. From Fifth Avenue, you don't get to see it, or 125th or New Turnpike. You literally get to only see these two beautiful pieces of mechanicals. They're very, very nice. They look from the back of the building.
Are they shiny?
They're very shiny, stainless steel. They look very nice, very well built. They're like the best of the
Are they
best.
small? How big are they?
They're,
I need a concept.
I mean, they're like,
Kenny, Kenny,
What?
do you want to show them how?
Just give me a yay or.
It's like maybe the size of that plan. I mean, that's the height of it.
So it looks like a chimney.
Correct.
Sure.
Yes, it's two chimneys. That's basically what it is.
So they're not like big
No.
condensers and stuff like that. Okay.
Nice. Yes.
show the photograph.
Yeah, Marty, show me.
So as you see, you only get to see them from the back of the building.
Okay, so they're.
We're looking right at,
Yeah,
that's from the street level, that's not from my property.
but that shows you what it looks like.
Yes. That's what they look like from the back of the
And
building.
is this from your house?
That's from the street.
So how
Oh,
far,
my house is.
even further away? Okay.
No, just, yeah. feet.
But
I mean,
still,
that's
okay.
from the street level. My house, we have to walk up steps to get to it.
Okay.
So I don't know
Is it
how-
from Northern Drive?
His house is right here.
Northern Drive?
Yeah. What they call Northern Drive Extension. is
Northern
where it
Drive
is.
Extension.
That's exactly where.
The Angle
they're
Road.
calling, Skyhook Road and New Turnpike,
I don't know
or
which you put there.
Northern Drive.
Northern Drive in this county.
There's no way, Kenny, there's no way to mask.
There's no way.
It's not a beer garden.
I'm satisfied.
All right, has the motion been made?
No.
I move that the board approve the variance in regards to the relief for requirement of the rooftop mechanical features to be either set back or covered or screened. I believe that we should, the benefits sought by the application may not be achieved by some other feasible method other than the pros variance. There's no real room to put the fence. I think a fence would actually look worse. So,
Anything else you want to add or
no,
no?
I think that's it.
Okay, motion made.
I second
Need a
that
second.
motion.
Made and seconded. Evie,
I vote to approve.
Approve.
I approve.
Approved.
Motion carried 4-0. Moving along. Relief is sought to allow parking lot entrance, exit distances from nearby intersection to be 25 feet along Northern Drive and 24 feet along New Scotticoke Road, where 50 feet minimum setback is required. Area variance discussion or motion, please.
I'll make a motion. I move the board to approve this variance. The alleged difficulty is not self-created. It's really part of the property line and the uniqueness of that property in the area of the way it's set. There's no way to achieve this any other way.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Evie, yes or no?
A yes to approve.
Zach, yes or no?
Yes.
I vote yes. Tamara?
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
Before we get to the next motion, since the traffic flow data or some data has been provided, is,
I don't think that is. I believe the intent of the code is to kind of collect some actual data on
Right.
the premises. That is what I think it is. Then what I think they give us is a letter from the other location with,
Actual data would be a rubber hose and a counter by the side of the road.
Right.
that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
so it's not just the drive-through
Yes.
data, it's all encompassing.
This,
Okay.
this,
It's not the New York State Highway Department.
this section refers to, and again, I'll verify this, I can verify this too, but Angie, if I'm not mistaken, this is the flow data
yeah.
that is used to calculate the stacking you need for the drive up in that section. So it's looking at your transactions that you need. So you're not putting rubber hoses down to count something that's not there yet. So what you would do is you would find if you were McDonald's or some other business to have data provided that would at other locations that have that type of use to
Business.
then support the number of stacking that you would need.
Is that, so
So-
this is not
so-
a traffic study?
So if you go into that section, it's related to the drive-through operation.
This is,
Pardon me?
It can only be a projection.
yeah,
Oh,
it can only be a
okay.
projection.
It's.
I'm sorry, then I misspoke. I'm sorry.
I mean.
Well, if you were a different type of traffic analysis, but for when you're trying to determine what you would need for, say, a stacking exercise is by providing data. I think what we're providing in that letter, which we got from the provider, is that here is the range of transactions that they do for a sandwich shop like this. They have multiple locations. There's a high and a low range, and they have a high and low range of data that relates to the percentage of people that use the drive up pickup service, which is that 26 to 32%. So we just provided that range essentially is going to be where you're going to be 26 cars to 48 cars. That's essentially what the data would relate
But
to.
that range is for the other business.
For 22 other locations.
22
That's-
locations. So they have 22 locations. They have data sets for 22.
Mhm.
That's a basis of what you would bring
To this site.
to this site.
So with that range, what do you expect from this site?
So if we were to go to the extreme end of it to 48 vehicles for an entire day, I would say that that is a pretty low amount of traffic that would be added to that drive-through lane with 30-second to 1-minute pickup times. It's pretty insignificant.
So
I would still say they should go for the variance because this is because we didn't have enough time to kind of review
Okay,
this document.
well, so
To be on the
that's,
safer side,
that's,
I
that's
think-
fine. I mean, we'll keep the variance to the record, providing that we're going to give supplemental information from the,
To the planning board.
to the
Yeah.
planning board.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
All right, if there's no comments or questions, I'd like to move this along with a motion, please. And the motion being relief requested from providing peak traffic flow data.
I move the board approve the variance to relieve the request for providing peak traffic flow data. The alleged difficulty is not self-created because they actually provided tonight traffic flow data for this. So I feel like they've given us what we've needed, and that will also be addressed again in planning.
Any other comments or concerns?
I'll second that.
I vote to,
Rick, do you have one?
No, I think that
You're okay?
I'm okay.
All right, so the motion has been made. Do we have a second?
I think Tamara.
Tamara,
I'm sorry. Thank you. Any discussion? We'll vote. Evie,
I vote to approve.
Zach,
Approve.
I approve. Tamara?
Approved.
Okay. On to the last one. The applicant is required to provide waiting lanes with sufficient capacity to accommodate a minimum queue of 6 vehicles with each vehicle space calculated at 20 feet for a total required length of 120 feet. The applicant is proposing 65.8 feet of waiting lane capacity. Therefore, a relief of 54.2 feet is requested. Discussion. Motion to approve or disapprove?
I'll make the motion.
I would just like to say discussion for just a second. I mean, it's either gonna work or it's not gonna work. I mean, honestly. And if it doesn't work, you're gonna have to adjust.
You're right. You're 100% right. I mean, everything is, we just wanted to give it a fair shot.
So, I mean, this relief is really basically half. There's 6 vehicles, you've got a waiting lane of 3 vehicles. And if you time your thing right, you know, I mean, I don't know if, you know, like we were talking about DeFazio's earlier, you know, on a Friday, if you want a pizza at DeFazio's, you gotta call it in at like 4 o'clock if you want to eat at 8.
You're right.
You know, so I mean, you know, maybe in your own
Operation.
whatever you do, your operation, you know, maybe I can't call right now because it's too busy. I gotta call in 5 minutes and order something.
Yeah, yes. And the good thing about this is it's through an app,
Through
right?
an app, right?
And the app, you get to control so much. You get data, you get to, I mean, there's AI right now, so it automatically probably will adjust itself based on how fast the operation is. I mean, I hope that we get to that point, that we're so busy that we have to shut it down, but I don't see it happening anytime soon because of the demographics in the area. I mean, I'm not, to be honest, like I said, our other successful businesses would take 10 to 50. It takes a long time. It's like a child. You're raising your child. It takes time to do so. So I don't see this problem happening anytime. I mean, I hope it does, but I don't see it happening anytime soon, to be honest.
No problems. You don't want to hope for problems.
I would just add, if you make your customers understand that they can't get the food before the announced time,
Correct.
you
I
will
mean,
probably that would probably go some way towards minimizing people lingering around.
yes. I mean,
Just gonna
people,
go someplace else. It would be
Or-
like, I want to go into Cumberland Farms or Stewart's.
No. When you order the food, once you order the food,
He's just
okay.
saying I can't order and then go, I'm just gonna wait in the parking lot.
yeah, I mean, obviously, if you pull up to the window and the food is not ready, they're not just going to tell you to wait. They're going to tell you you have to go and come back. And usually people that use the app, they want to do it to be sufficient, to save time. So usually they're very self-educated people that they would want to do it to save time.
Well, and we'll go back to the Uber for a minute. It's like when you order an Uber, you don't wait outside for your Uber.
Correct.
You wait for the
Yes.
Uber to show up and he sits and he waits for you and you go, my Uber's here, and then you leave the bar.
Very well said. Yes.
So, and honestly,
That's it.
that's the demographic that's going to be using your pickup.
You're right. You're 100% right. You're correct.
Motion has been made. Has it been seconded?
I don't think the motion has been made.
It has not been made.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
back the bus off.
Um,
Let's not
Aye.
go off course.
Do you want to do it, Tamara?
Sure.
Somebody make the motion.
Sure, I make a motion to approve the final variance that the applicant is asking for to have a relief. Well, whatever. A relief of
54.2.
54.2, sorry, I had to get to the end, 54.2 feet for the queue line for the pickup. And I believe that this variance will not create an undesirable change. The area?
You want me to read
Yeah.
it?
No, I'm good. Just make sure I'm right. I don't believe in creating an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. He's doing a drive-up window and he's, like I said, he's gonna figure it out, but it needs to be, may not be achieved by some other method. And, I don't think it'll have an adverse impact on the environment or the neighborhood, honestly.
Motion made. Second.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Evie,
I vote to approve.
Zach,
Approve.
I approve.
Approve.
It's been unanimously approved. I think that brings us to a conclusion. It's been a long night.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
for
Chairman.
everybody who's here, who was here,
And
who was
everybody else.
online, who gave us input. I'd like to get a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'll second that.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Carry. Have a good night.
Good luck.
I thought I handed it off.
Hey, that goes in one thing.
What? What would I say to you?
Oh.
Person online, she said, I can't.